Have you ever gone on a long road trip? I mean a really, really long road trip. About 30 minutes into the trip, you start thinking things like,
I'm hungry.
I'm thirsty.
I'm bored.
How long is this trip?
Are we there yet?
Today I'd like you to remember two important messages. One, that God heals his people, and two, that God saves us from danger. When we think of the word save, it can have different meanings. It can mean to save from danger, like when a person is being saved from a river that is tumbling towards a waterfall. The other way we can use the word save is to set aside things for special use, like when a family saves pennies in a jar for vacation treats. And many people and children put money into savings account for special purchases, like video games or candy. In our case, God saves us or sets us aside for special work. God does not want our lives to be wasted, but to be saved for important activities. Today's story opens up with the Israelites. They are the Hebrew people who believed in one God, and God brought them out of slavery in Egypt. They are furious and want to give up because they have wandered for years in a wilderness and now feared it would be their graveyard. As they were traveling, they began to complain and question why God had brought them out of Egypt to die in this desert. The Israelites are basically acting like impatient children who've been on a very long road trip for far too long. Hunger and exhaustion have begun to take a toll on them. They faced many difficulties during their desert travels, and God had cared for them in a special way throughout. They were whining about food, the manna and quail that God was giving them. They turned their anger on Moses and God.
Why did you bring us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness?
We have no bread. We have no water.
We detest this miserable food.
As punishment, God sent poisonous snakes into the camp, and they bit many Israelites, and many people died. This fiery serpent, which likely attacked the Israelites in the wilderness, would probably have been the saw-scaled viper, which is a small but fierce and deadly snake. In desperation and fear, the Israelites rushed to Moses for help, admitting that they sinned when they complained against God, and asked Moses to pray for them and ask God to take away the snakes. Moses prayed. God answered Moses' prayer, but he didn't take away the snakes. Instead, God told Moses to make a snake out of bronze, to put it up on a pole so that the people could see it. God told Moses that when someone was bitten by a snake, that if they looked at the bronze snake, they would be healed. So let's read the scripture passage together. Will you read it with me? Numbers 21, verses 4 to 9. The bronze snake. They traveled from Mount Hor along the route to the Red Sea to go around Edom. But the people grew impatient on the way. They spoke against God and against Moses and said, "Why have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? There is no bread, there is no water, and we detest this miserable food." Then the Lord sent venomous snakes among them. They bit the people, and many Israelites died. The people came to Moses and said, "We sinned when we spoke against the Lord and against you. Pray that the Lord will take the snakes away from us." So Moses prayed for the people. The Lord said to Moses, "Make a snake and put it up on a pole. Anyone who is bitten can look at it and live." So Moses made a bronze snake and put it up on a pole. Then when anyone was bitten by a snake and looked at the bronze snake, they lived. Thank you for reading that with me. So what is this scripture passage telling us? If we want joy, if we want hope, comfort, strength, and purpose. If we want to be healed, we must look to Jesus and trust in Him. Have a great week.